Welcome, everyone. My name is Sonya, and this is a quick practice to help you ground, unwind, and decompress after a long day of work. So let's begin right away in child's pose. You can just go ahead and set your blanket right off to the side. Take your knees as wide as the mat. Bring your big toes together behind you. Set your hips back towards the heels. Stretch the arms forward and let the heart and forehead rest all the way down on the floor. As you breathe, inhale to your back body. Exhale, rest into the earth. Inhale, feel your back ribs, kidneys lift and expand. Exhale, release your energy downward. So as we let go of our day, we want to let go of all that front body energy. In yoga, the front body is associated with the individual self, the egoic self, the doer, and the back body is more associated with the universal self. So as you breathe into your back body, we're already plugging in and stepping into the bigger picture. And just feel your connection to the earth beneath. And then inhale, look forward, and come right onto the hands and knees. Place your wrists right underneath your shoulders, knees slightly back, behind the hips. First, stretch your left leg straight, tuck your toes, and just stretch the left calf out. Pull back through the left heel, pull forward through the heart. And then set your left knee down. Stretch the back of the right leg, firm the knee straight, right heel back, pull the heart forward. And then set both knees down on the floor. You can point your toes now and begin some spinal movements, cat-cow. Moving the spine fully into extension, chest forward, chin up. Exhale, tuck and curl into the other direction. And now we're going to start to add some breath. So actually inhale as you round into cat. Inhale here, push the earth away. And as you exhale, stick your tongue out, go. Again, inhale through the nose, curl. Exhale, roll your eyes up, clear the throat. Twice more. Inhale, round. Exhale, lion's breath. Last time, just like that. Inhale, round. And exhale, big, open throat, clear the heart. Good. And then come on back to a neutral, long, flat back. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Let's come right up into it. Gazing back between your feet. Bend one knee and then the other. Just kind of pedal your heels to the earth one at a time. Again, stretching out the calves, lifting the sitting bones. Stay supercharged and connected through your hands and arms. Grip the earth with all 10 fingertips and squeeze the forearms towards one another. Now bend both knees quite a lot. Keeping the knees bent, lift your sitting bones higher, roll your inner thighs back. On an exhale, straighten the legs, heels down towards the floor. From this downward facing dog, walk your hands back to your feet and find yourself in a forward fold there. Feet sitting bone distance apart and parallel. Bend your knees for this first forward fold. On an inhale, lengthen the heart forward, long spine. Exhale, belly to thighs, bow deeper. Inhale, sweep your arms wide enough, all the way up to the sky. Exhale, thumbs to heart. Again, inhale, the arms wide enough. Exhale, forward fold. On an inhale, walk forward into a high push-up. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin to the ground, shoulders are up. Inhale, slide forward into cobra, point the toes, bend the elbows, curl the shoulders back. Exhale, lower the forehead, use your knees to press up and back into child's pose. Breathe into your back ribs once again. Breathe into your back ribs. As you are ready, tuck your toes, downward facing dog one more time. Same exact thing. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Find yourself in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, belly to thighs, fold deeper. Inhale all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, circle your arms back up. And exhale, forward fold to the earth. Inhale, walk forward to a high push-up. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin, Ashtangasana, 8-point pose. Inhale, Bhujangasana, Cobra. Point your toes, pull the heart forward. Exhale, forehead down, use your knees, child's pose, press right back. Deep breath in and out, knees nice and wide so that the belly and the ribs have room to breathe. Stay connected with the earth beneath you, slow, deep, steady breaths. With each inhale, making space, and with each exhale, letting the day go. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Now hold here, nice and long and strong. Spread and root your fingertips. Keep your lower back level across. And now lift your right leg higher without spinning your hips open. Lift your inner right thigh. Push down through the left heel, push up and back through the right heel. Inhale fully. On an exhale, step your right foot forward, right between your hands. Now, if your foot did not get all the way forward, then you'll want to just help it step up a little bit. Bring your left knee down to the ground, lunge a little deeper, pull the front and back leg towards one another, and inhale, float your arms up to the sky, spread your fingers. Pull your legs towards center. Try to lift your low belly up and away from the front thigh. Then stretch your arm bones back fully, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, float your hands to the floor. Turn your right toes out to the right a couple inches. Both hands to the inside of the front foot. Now swing your left hand out to the left a little further, lunge even deeper, and place your right hand on the right knee. Look to your right. Once again, engage muscle energy through your legs. Pull the front and back leg towards one another. And then as you exhale, start to lean back into a twisted back bend. Start to open your heart to the sky. When you're ready, extend your right arm back, maybe even grab a hold of your left foot. Bend the left knee, grab that foot with the right hand. If you don't have a hold of the foot, then you just twist and lean back. Once again, hug the muscles to the bones, curl the shoulder blades back into the heart, and release the foot, let it go, both hands to the front. Reset your lunge, right hand to the right side, step back into a downward facing dog. Once again, walk your hands back towards your feet. Find yourself in a forward fold there. On an inhale, halfway lift. On an exhale, bow deeper. Inhale all the way up to standing, reach, root and rise. Exhale, thumbs to the heart. Inhale, reach back up to the sky. And exhale, give it all back to the earth, forward fold. Inhale, walk forward into a high push-up. Exhale, Ashtangasana, lower it down. Inhale, big open hearts. Point your toes, root your tailbone back, and lengthen into a wave form. Exhale, forehead down. Tuck your toes and press back into child's pose. From child's pose, tuck your toes, downward facing dog once again. Inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Notice if one of the elbows is bending or if the hips are spinning, and really come back to the integrity of your foundation. Spreading all 10 fingertips, rooting them down into the ground. Lift your inner left thigh up to the sky, keeping your low back square. Then inhale, lengthen even more. Exhale, step your left foot forward right between the hands. Bring your right knee down to the ground and take your arms up to the sky. Keep your back toes tucked under. It'll help you hug the center with your right ankle. Now lunge deeper into your left knee, straighten your elbows, look up at the sky, and then open your heart center all the way up. Full breath in, full extension. Exhale, float your hands to the floor. Left hand to the inside of the left foot. Turn your left toes out to the left. Swing your right hand out to the right. And now bring your left hand to your left knee and turn towards me over here to the left wall. Lunge deeper, hips go down towards the ground, but continue squeezing towards the center. Stabilize your low back by hugging the outer hips and the legs in towards the center of the pelvis. Now roll your left chest back even more. When you're ready, reach back with that left hand. See if you can grab a hold of the foot back there. Now really get the head of the left arm bone to move back, broaden across the collarbones. Once again, hug the legs towards center and squeeze even deeper. Move into a deeper quad stretch, a little more of a back bend. Make sure that you're breathing. Exhale, release both hands down to the floor. Reset your lunge. Step right back to a downward facing dog. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhale with a ha, letting something go on that exhale. One last time, walk your hands back towards your feet. Find yourself in a forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, really lengthen. Exhale, belly to thighs, bow deep. Inhale, up to standing, reach for the sky, but feel your feet on the earth, hands to heart center. Last time, big circle up. And exhale, fold down. Inhale, walk into a high push-up. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin to the floor. Inhale, slide forward, cobra. You can come up medium, high cobra, really lift. Exhale, press back into child's pose, knees stay on the floor. Rest in child's pose for 2 or 3 breaths. Observe the difference, just a few poses, just a few conscious breaths. Already the energy of the day is starting to shift. And just feel your body on the earth. Feel the breath in your lungs. And from this child's pose, as you inhale, walk your hands back towards your shoulders and sit up on your heels. From here, we'll move towards Virasana, hero's pose. And you may need a block, so just have it handy. And so you have a couple options. First, bring your knees together, but take your feet apart and sit your hips back between your heels. Now, if your hips don't come all the way down to the ground, it's a little too much. Take your block, place it underneath your sitting bones. And if that's still a little too much, take your blanket, place it even then on top of the block. So you basically just create more height until you can rest your hips into something. All right, now take a look at your feet and make sure they're not bowing apart, like making a banana shape. You want to hug the outer shins in, and the center of your knee, the center of your heel, and the second toe create one long line, perfectly straight from the knee back to the toes. Now take a moment to manually roll your inner thighs down. Literally grab your thighs and help the inner thighs turn down into the earth. Place one hand on your lower back and encourage the lumbar spine to draw in and up rather than rounding backwards. Now place both hands on your thighs, roll the shoulders softly down the back, close your eyes, relax your jaw, and breathe through the nose. And just getting the thigh bones grounded, dropping in, connecting with the breath. Now, if this is already quite a lot on your ankles or knees, hips are very tight, then this is your pose and you're welcome to stay here. If you'd like to move on, the next variation will be to move backwards. So place your fingertips on the earth behind you and lift your heart. If you're sitting on a block or a blanket, then bend your elbows, squeeze them towards each other, continue sending your inner thighs down, and now lift your heart up. And only at the very, very end, start to release the head all the way back. But focus more on lifting the heart center. If you're sitting on the ground and you're ready for a little bit more, keep your hips and inner thighs descending and start to come all the way onto your forearms. Check that your knees are not splaying apart or popping off the floor. And then you might even go all the way back, heart and head to the floor, and arms extend up long overhead. Now in this variation, make sure that your ankles haven't started to bow out, that the knees haven't popped up. Keep your foundation firm. Whatever version you're in, breathe, lift heart center, ground through thigh bones, stretch the low belly. This is a great pose for calming the nervous system, boosting digestion, and really clearing stagnant or anxious or agitated energy. Take about 4 more breaths at your edge, wherever that is, looking good. And now when you come up out of it, don't lead with your face. It's very tempting to just throw the head up, but keep the head back, lead with your heart, push your elbows, lift your heart, and then face comes up very last. From this place, the best transition out is just to come forward onto your hands and knees. And then just like we did at the beginning of class, stretch your left leg back, pull through the heel, lengthen the back of the knee. And then same thing other side. Stretch the back of the leg out. And then put both knees down. Move your props out to the side if they're still in your way. And now simply just come all the way down onto your belly. Bring your forearms to the earth. Lift your heart. Keep your left forearm at the front of your mat at a 45-degree angle. Reach back with your right hand and grab a hold of the right foot. At first, kick your foot into your hand and pull your heart forward. So we start here. Press the left leg actively down into the ground and send your tailbone back towards your heel. So you have a lot of power in the foundation. Now to bring it in deeper, pull your foot in towards the hip, and you might even be able to turn your palm down, and you push that foot down towards the outer right hip. Keep pulling left shoulder back. Right chest forward, left leg staying really grounded and active. Full press. Good, and then release. Right forearm down, same thing other side. Come into a quad stretch. Look straight forward, try to level out your heart, chest points to the front of the room. Hug both legs in towards center. They're gonna wanna splay apart. Center the legs down the midline of the mat. And then start to pull the foot closer. If you're able, you can even turn your palm to face down and push the toes closer to the hips. That's it. Keep your right leg really long and powerful into the mat. Pull your heart forward and away from your thigh bones. And then carefully release. Bring your forehead to the floor, arms back by your sides. Bend your knees and reach back for your ankles for Dhanurasana. Full bow pose. First, bring your knees a little closer together. Actively point your ankles. And now kick your feet into your hands and lift your face and chest up off the floor. That's it. The legs again will want to splay apart. Try to pull them in towards center. And now kick your feet so strongly back into your hands that you might start to rock and roll a little bit. Roll forward and back on your belly. Make sure that you're breathing. Kick your toes a little higher up towards the ceiling. And then carefully release to the floor. Straighten your legs. Stack your hands one on top of the other and place them underneath your forehead. And just rest with your forehead on your hands. Bend both knees, point the toes up to the sky, and windshield wiper your feet from side to side. And just sort of wiggle the hips out and move the thigh bones. Bring your feet back to center, straighten your legs. 3 full deep breaths into your back body. Resting on the earth, breathing fully into the back ribs. Connect with the universal self. Put down the ever-changing story and dance of the egoic self. And then from here, we'll make a very easy transition. You're just gonna flip right onto your back like a pancake. Keep your head near the front of your mat and just flip onto your back. Great. Line yourself up down the middle of your mat. Inhale, lift both arms high up overhead. Stretch from your fingers through your toes. Exhale, hug the right knee in towards the chest. Give it a squeeze. Okay, now bring your attention to your left leg. Flex the left foot so that the toes point straight up to the sky. Firm the muscles and try to send the left inner thigh down towards the floor more. Now interlace your fingers around the back of your right thigh and straighten your right leg so that the heel goes into the ceiling. Now straighten your elbows, so rather than trying to pull your leg towards your face, just hold behind the hamstring, and push your leg straight up into the ceiling rather than pulling it towards your face. Push your left thigh bone down into the mat. Push your right thigh bone into your hands so strongly that if you were to let go, your leg would slam into the ground, but don't let go. Just push your thigh bones back into the hamstrings. Roll your shoulders back into the earth. One more deep breath, grounding. Excellent. And then slowly release, set the right foot down. Inhale, both arms up high overhead. Exhale, hug the left knee in towards the chest. Give it a big squeeze and a hug. Squeeze and hug it in, great. Check in with your right foot. It's going to want to roll out to the side. Flex it and get the toes to point straight up to the ceiling. Now roll your inner right thigh down a little more and ground the thigh bone into the earth. Now stretch your left foot up into the sky. Interlace your fingers around the back of the hamstring. Flex both feet, push through the heels, and push the thigh bones into the ground and into your hands. So once again, we're just actively grounding the femurs. And as you breathe, actively lengthen the inseam of the legs. So you move through the inner thigh to the inner heel and through the big toe. Slowly release and set the left leg down. Inhale, both arms up high overhead. Exhale, hug the first knee in once again. Right knee to the chest. Give it a great big squeeze and a hug. Now take your right arm out to the right and drop your knee to the left. It's very helpful in these supine twists to sometimes lift and scoot your hips to the right a little bit first. That's it. And then with your left hand, just guide your knee towards the floor. Gaze to the right, but close your eyes. Nice full deep breaths. If your left shoulder is lifting up towards, if your right shoulder is lifting up towards the ear, just try to roll your right shoulder blade back and down between you and the earth. One more deep belly breath in and out. And then slowly come back to center. Straighten the right leg, center your hips. Inhale, both arms up and over. Exhale, hug the left knee to the chest. Give it a great squeeze. Rinse out your hip first, and then take it over into a twist on the other side. Left arm goes out to the left. You might want to scoot your hips about 2 inches towards the left as well. And then with your right hand, guide the knee down towards the mat. And take a moment to draw the left shoulder blade back and down between you and the earth. And then with each exhale, gently guide yourself a little deeper into this twist. At the end of practice, twists are like the wringing out pose. You stir everything up, you wipe it up, and then you wring it out, making space for something new. Inhale, come on back to center. You can hug both knees in one last time. Just give yourself a great big centering squeeze. And then straighten your legs out long for Savasana, corpse pose. If there's any pain in your lower back in Savasana, roll up your blanket and place it underneath your knees. If you're feeling good where you are, you might want to take the blanket and throw it on top of your thighs. not so much for warmth, but for grounding. The heaviness of the wool blanket over the tops of the thigh bones serves to root your thigh bones down, calm your nervous system, and it even helps you to breathe a little bit more fully all the way down into the hips. As you arrive on the earth for Savasana, let's take one last final deep breath in, expanding fully. And then exhale through the mouth. And let yourself melt. Savasana, corpse pose. And now, keeping your eyes closed, slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes and rotate your wrists and circle your ankles. And on the next big inhale, lift your arms up long overhead and stretch through your whole body. Exhale, hug the knees in towards the chest. Move your blanket just off to the side, give yourself a big hug, and then gently roll to your right side and pause there for just a moment. Curled up in a little ball, take a deep breath into your back body. Hold here for a moment. Hold on, everyone. Gently press the earth away with your left hand, come up to seated, and find a comfortable seated position, either on your blanket or just simply sit it on the earth. and lift up really tall through the spine. Inhale, take your arms wide and up one last time. Exhale, thumbs together in front of the heart. Let's close our practice together here by chanting Om just once. Inhale and exhale first to ground. Inhale for Om. Namaste.